Apple's got some big secrets about the iPhone 14, but bad news for them, this phone just does not stop leaking. Case in point. We are now just 1 month away from the launch of the iPhone 14 and new AirPods, Apple Watches, Macs, iPads. It's gonna be a very busy fall for Apple with multiple events supposedly on the books. So as we always do here in the Apple Circle, let's break down the latest Apple leaks, news, and rumors that you need to know about, including the 8 biggest products launching from Apple this fall. We've got some all new leaks on AirPods Pro 2, iPhone 14, new Macs. There is so much here that you need to know about. At the exact moment you are watching this video, someone at Apple is working on the September event. Seriously. We just got word that Apple has begun production on the September event. That means they're gonna start to plan it and shoot it and edit it and work on all the crazy CGI for all those crazy transitions. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's like a 24/7 endeavor to get this thing polished and ready to go over the next few weeks. So right now at Apple, they're scrambling to get this thing ready to go so we can finally see these all new products. But lucky enough for you and I, we don't have to wait another month because all the details have leaked on the iPhone 14, AirPods Pro 2, Apple Watch Pro. There's a lot here that we need to talk about and a lot of last minute leaks that have just come in. So let me sort of go lightning round here and tell you all the highlights on all the major Apple products launching in the next few weeks. Let me spill the beans a little early. Right off the bat, we've seen several new leaks that have confirmed that this always-on display mode is basically looking like a done deal for the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. We've seen some leaked code in iOS 16 betas and some Xcode betas, and it's gonna work as you'd expect it. Basically, when the lock screen is on and working as normal, it's gonna look like a normal iOS 16 lock screen, but when the phone is sort of sitting on a table and the screen goes into an always-on display mode, it's going to dim and sort of go grayscale, black and white, so you sort of see info at a glance and maybe you can see stuff coming in, but it's not going to be colorful and vibrant when it's in sort of this low power, low state mode. Number 2, let's talk about the notch. Good news, bad news here, depending on your opinion. The iPhone 14 series, the lower end phones, the notch on those phones is going to stay exactly the same to the iPhone 13. That slightly smaller notch, so no change there. And on the 14 Pro and Pro Max, you're gonna get this new double hole punch system that's gonna give you the selfie camera and the full access of Face ID, and a little bit more screen real estate to work with, but that's about it. Now, we did just see, funny enough, in the latest iOS 16 beta that Apple has brought back battery percentage in the battery icon there, and I'm curious on these Pro phones, a little bit more screen to work with, maybe they'll put the battery percentage next to the battery like it used to be, maybe they do something similar like that, a little bit more utility. Unclear right now, but a little fun fact that you should know if you didn't already know already, thanks to the firestorm of news that came from such a little change. This next one is one of the big deals this year, and it is all about camera. We don't think anything is expected to change for the regular 14 series, maybe some small tweaks, but really nothing with the camera. Really, Apple's gonna reserve all the new features for the 14 Pro and Pro Max, because that is where the main camera is going to finally get a bump from 12 megapixels all the way up to a new 48 megapixel main camera, which should make your photos and videos that you take on your 14 Pro phone look better, sharper, clearer, just better looking than ever before. Now, in addition to that, every single iPhone 14 model, Pro and non-Pro, will be getting a better selfie camera. Basically, it's gonna allow more light into that sensor and also give you better autofocusing capabilities as well. So if you're looking to up your selfie game just a bit, that should be coming as a new feature to all iPhone 14 models. And if you've been sort of catching a theme a bit with these upgrades, noticing that most of the good stuff is happening just to the Pro phones this year, then you would be right on the money, because Apple is sort of money motivated and looks to be reserving a lot of the better features for their higher end, more expensive Pro devices, really leaving the iPhone 14 series unchanged with one big exception. The design is going to be the same on all phones, but the lower end phones are gonna have the exact same notch, they're gonna have the exact same screen, they're gonna have basically the exact same camera, a slightly tweaked processor inside, but really the biggest deal with the 14, the regular phone, is the removal of the mini option. There will not be an iPhone 14 mini, and instead Apple is gonna replace that with a Max version. So there's gonna be the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Max. And this Max phone basically is gonna give you all the Pro Max features minus the Pro stuff. So you're gonna get a nice, bright, vibrant, big 6.7-inch OLED display. You're gonna get all the creature comfort that comes with having a larger screen iPhone, but you won't have ProMotion, no always-on display, no different notch, no ProRes video. Basically, if you're looking for a large screen iPhone that is more affordable than the Pro Max, then this is Apple's answer to you, which I actually think is gonna sell quite well. Of course, there's also odds and ends like the processor difference, A16 in the Pros, A15 in the regular. We might be seeing a new SOS mode or some kind of satellite connectivity that comes to all iPhone 14s that allow you to phone home or send a text message in an emergency situation. We might be seeing a new purple color coming to the Pro models. That was one of the latest rumors. And then also price, which is a little bit tricky this year because we don't know what Apple is going to do. Typically, Apple keeps iPhone pricing the same. They basically give you more features for the same price. But as we saw Apple slowly start to raise prices with different products, including the iPhone SE this year, it's a little unclear if the iPhone 14 series is going to stay at the same price tag or if it's gonna go up a bit by $20, $30, $50. We just don't know. So pricing is a little bit of a mystery, but all these phones should be unveiled next month of September and should launch before the end of September in just a little over a month. Now, in addition to iPhone, there is another product really stealing all the thunder and the headlines right now, really stealing the show before it begins, and that is this all-new rumor of an Apple Watch Pro. To be clear, there will still be an Apple Watch Series 8 and a brand new SE version, the SE2, but there might be this new Pro variant, whether it's called the Series 8 Pro, the Apple Watch Pro, the Rugged Edition, Extreme Edition, we don't know, but a new higher-end Apple Watch is coming this year with an all-new design, some adjustments under the hood and with the screen, and also a Pro price tag too. Now, when it comes to the regular Series 8, not a whole lot here is expected to change, sort of a really similar story to the iPhone 14 versus the Pro. You're gonna see the same design on the Series 8, basically the same processor, probably the same screen, very minor changes if any, but one of the big changes should be a new body temperature sensor that should be coming to all Apple Watches, with again, Apple sticking with this Pro first theme, with a lot of the good stuff happening just to the Apple Watch Pro. This is the watch that should get this all new design that Mark Gurman says is not going to be a flat edge design, but should be one of the most significant changes to the Apple Watch design we've ever seen since the first generation launched all the way back in, what was that, 2014? 2015, it's been a number of years that the Apple Watch has been around. We should also see a bigger screen on the Pro, a more resistant screen to the elements, so hopefully it's more shatterproof and more crack-proof. We should also see a beefier battery inside, the body temperature sensor, and a titanium material. It's a little bit more higher end, a little bit more resistant here on this more expensive Pro model. To me, a September event should include three things. You've got the iPhone 14, all those models, all the Apple Watch models, and the one more thing, the last of the trio to round things out, in my opinion, should be AirPods Pro 2. It'd be nice to see some kind of update to AirPods Pro. We know this has been in the works for a number of months, if not years, and now these new AirPods Pro should be finally coming this fall and should be bringing some good changes, but also not all the changes we initially expected. The latest batch of AirPods Pro 2 rumors are a little interesting. So to clear things up, there will not be a design change as originally stated a number of months ago. It looks like AirPods Pro 2 will look basically identical to AirPods Pro 1. Apple is not going to do anything different with a heart rate technology inside or fitness capability. There was some rumors for a while that AirPods are gonna be more fitness oriented. That doesn't seem to be the case, but it looks like Apple is really gonna double down on audio fidelity with AirPods Pro 2, with the main rumor being that they're going to allow for lossless audio to stream wirelessly from your Apple device to AirPods Pro 2 in your ears. Personally, I'd also love to see better battery life and also better auto switching and pairing, because lately I feel like the pairing process with AirPods has been a little flaky. The switching, the auto switching never seems to be so automatic and never seems to work for me. So if Apple could tweak that, that would be nice. I'd appreciate that. But the details on those specs are unclear, though we do know a couple of big changes are coming to the charging case that the AirPods Pro 2 will sit inside. Three big changes here. One is that we should see some kind of keyring attachments. You could easily attach this to a bag, backpack, keyring, purse. There should be a little mounting point on here, which should be cool to see. We also should see a built-in speaker into the case itself, not for playing music, but for being able to play a loud sound to find this through the Find My app. And then also a change coming to the port, though this one is interesting. We had heard that Apple was going to start to switch over to USB-C with their new devices. Really, I guess they've already begun to switch to USB-C, but really a wider adoption of USB-C across all their accessories. And AirPods Pro 2 were supposed to have a USB-C port on the case. And that looks to be sort of happening. But now, according to Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, Apple might offer this at a later time as maybe a separate optional accessory, like you can get the USB-C case later, but it looks like to make it in time for production, Apple is going to ship AirPods Pro 2 with a Lightning case. So if you are worried about the port situation, that's what we know right now in terms of AirPods Pro 2. Of course, iPhone 14 is going to stick with Lightning, with the switch over to USB-C happening on the iPhone as early as next year with the iPhone 15. Okay, so all that makes sense for a September event. That would be a nice, well-rounded, jam-packed event happening in a month. But Apple still has more to release, so what could they do? Well, according to good old Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg, Apple could hold a second event, maybe in October, to release a number of other products they're looking to launch before the end of the year. That would be some new iPads and some new Macs. Now, the iPad Pro getting the M2 chip as an upgrade is pretty obvious. We know that's definitely coming, but the other changes to the iPad Pro right now are very unclear because Apple might not be changing as much as we originally thought. In addition to iPad Pro, we've also heard some new rumors that we could see a new base entry-level iPad that will get a redesign and also some new features and could be launching as soon as this fall in October. Some alleged leak renders show off a brand new base iPad model that looks a whole lot like the iPad Pro and iPad mini with this new flat-edged industrial redesign with a couple of big exceptions. Obviously, the screen should not be as high-end as the iPad Pro. We should be getting a USB-C port though, some 5G connectivity built in, but the one big kicker here is that this should still have a Touch ID home button, so it won't have the Touch ID power button as found in the iPad mini and the iPad Air. It will not have Face ID like the iPad Pro, but it'll have this new redesign with this traditional home button still on the front, which actually kind of makes a lot of sense. You're sort of getting, in some instances, the best of both worlds. You're getting better technology on the inside, you're getting this new Apple modern industrial design, but for a lot of people who just want to focus on having an easy to use entry-level iPad, they know the home button, they love the home button, this will still give you the home button experience with Touch ID in there, which should be nice. And again, this could be launching as soon as this fall. And last up, quickly here, let's talk new Macs. We have heard rumors that Apple could release a number of new Macs before the end of the year. That would include this new Apple silicon-powered redesigned Mac Pro that should be smaller than the current Mac Pro we have right now, but way more powerful. We might be seeing new MacBook Pros come this fall, but again, no redesign here, but just with the M2 Pro and M2 Max chips inside. We've also heard rumors that we could be seeing some new Mac Minis with the M2 inside as well. And I'd assume at some point the iMac is going to get an M2 upgrade inside of it too, but we just don't know when that's going to happen. So in terms of new Macs, it looks like we could be seeing a MacBook Pro and a Mac Pro soon, and then maybe a Mac Mini, and then there's rumors of a larger 15-inch MacBook Air and maybe a new MacBook. And little crazy in the Mac side of things right now, but we should be seeing this Apple Silicon Mac Pro hopefully before the end of the year. And then once we get into 2023, it just gets crazy town, bonkers, weird. We're hearing right now that there's gonna be a headset event in January, though we've been hearing about this headset for months, if not years now, so who knows when that's gonna be. But as of right now, that is what we know about the September and October Apple events. And I'm curious, as always, for you guys, what are your thoughts on all the crazy stuff happening right now? Are you excited for the iPhone 14? What are your thoughts on this new redesigned entry-level iPad? M2 in the iPad Pro? Thumbs up, thumbs down? And your thoughts on AirPods Pro 2? You like it? You not like it? Apple Watch Pro? Is it going on your wrist? Let me know your thoughts about all this stuff launching soon from Apple down below. We can discuss, we can talk about it, and get excited. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I'm Rob Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.